This is one where I'm like ping ponging back and forth with several different ideas. So, hey, welcome back. Derek here. Continuing with my Ren journey. If you don't know me, I'm Derek. I spend my life thinking about meaningful living, including everything that makes my life worth living, including the upsides and the downsides of life. So things like personal values, purpose in life, narratives, mindsets, mindfulness, and resilience. Everything that we can use to get to the end of our lives and say, hey, I'd do that again. I'm happy that I was here. In my professional life, I explore money's role in a meaningful life. You can check that out at meaning.blog if you want to. So, getting back into Ren, today I've got Heretic. I think it's Heretic. Heretic. I think I always say Heretic. Heretic. Now I'm in my head. Heretic, which I think is a person who I think it's a person, right? A person who doesn't believe what the church tells them. If I'm wrong about that, let me know. But checking out Ren, Heretic, and I've got the lyrics up in front of me in case I need them. Sometimes they're on the screen, so I might not need them, but I got them up here just in case. So without further ado, if you're new here, by the way, I usually go through with Ren a first time through just listening to the song, just absorbing it and seeing how I feel, and then you can bounce after that if you want to, because I go through a second time with my thoughts, my interpretations, what he might have been saying, anything, any questions that come up. But that happens at the second half of the video. So without further ado, let's get it.
It's such a perfect day to be washed away. I went and sat by the shore and I counted the waves. I counted 108 reasons I want to escape, but then the reasons they crash upon the shore and they break. I don't think I've got the stamina for this anymore. I'm not sure, that's why I'm here by the shore, but I'm sure that I'm so tired of searching for messiahs, asking why must I battle this Goliath? I'm a force of nature, don't you know I'm aware of it? But I'm so very sick of feeling so very sick. I'm tortured by the gods, I guess that I'm a heretic. Life keeps on shocking me, I wish that life was celibate. My problems keep on peaking like the Everest. The elephant in the room is that my room is in the elephant. Becoming evident that we make fear president. When fear trumps love, that's when the soul becomes irrelevant. When my troubles keep on mounting, I make molehills out of mountains. Roundabouts of doubt are sounding, drown my youth inside the fountain. I'm a fucking atom bomb, bitch, pouring salt into the wound. Watch me rip apart the stitch. I'm that kid, the one that life subtracted, isolated, fractured. Shakespeare reenacted, adapted for music is too sick. I'm shining like Kubrick. My method is clockwork, a full metal dude with my eyes on the prize. Do you obey? Do you abide? What's the price of creativity? Is it losing your mind and seeing patterns in the places where the patterns hard to find? All alone.
All right. Well, I like that song. Just the tune itself was really good, and I can see myself listening to that. And then in terms of the song, what it's about, my initial pass through is I think he called himself a heretic. I think I'll go through again and see. But then in the end, he was saying I'm all alone, and I'm wondering if those two things are connected. Like I don't belong to this group because I don't believe what they believe. But where does that leave me? And then in terms of the words, this is the kind of song I think where it's going to take several listens to, you know, you listen to it again, you listen to it again, you listen to it 6 months later, and then you say, I missed that for 5 months, right? So let's check it out. I'll be making more use and better use of the lyrics here, but let's check it out again.
It's such a perfect day to be washed away. I went and sat by the shore and I counted the waves. I counted 108 reasons I want to escape, but then the reasons they crash upon the shore and they break.
So his reasons, he went to the shore, he was counting the waves, and then he counted the reasons to escape. So a wave is his way to escape. I'm trying to think. There was another song recently. I wonder if it was Dear God, where was it Dear God? Or maybe it was a poem by Ren, meaning, but somewhere he said, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Now, is he using waves? Is this connected? So is he saying that here's waves that represent troubles or a way to escape, and then they crash. So here's a way that I can escape, and then bam, wave goes away. Here comes another. And 108 times he did that. I don't know. Ask me in 50 listenings, and I'll have a different take on it.
I want to escape, but then the reasons they crash upon the shore and they break. I don't think I've got the stamina for this anymore. I'm not sure, that's why I'm here by the shore, but I'm sure that I'm so tired of searching.
I'm not sure, but I'm not by the shore. I like the word
for messiahs, asking why must I battle this Goliath?
Okay, so some Christianity messages here. I'm tired of searching for messiahs. And why do we look for messiahs? So why? What does this all mean? This gets to a lot of people have existential crises. What's this point of this? I don't understand. What's my role here? What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of my life? I just don't get it. So I'm searching for all these messiahs. And then at the end, battling Goliath, a reference to David, and why must I go do this battle? Or why must I have to go to battle?
Force of nature, don't you know I'm aware of it? But I'm so very sick of feeling so very sick. I'm tortured by the gods, I guess that I'm a heretic.
I gotta look at the words to this one. I'm sick of being sick. And as we know, I don't know, maybe the timeline is wrong here, but he's got an album coming out, Sick Boy, Lyme disease and all the struggles he's been through, and he's sick of that. And why would this happen? So I'm tortured by the gods. And why would the gods torture me and make me sick? I must be a heretic. Because the next lines.
Life keeps on shocking me. Tortured by the gods, I guess that I'm a heretic. Life keeps on shocking me. I wish that life was celibate.
So life keeps on fucking me. I wish life was celibate. I wish life didn't have to fuck me, but it does. And that doesn't make sense.
My problems keep on peaking like the Everest. The elephant in the room is that my room is in the elephant.
Elephant in the room is that my room is in the elephant. Somebody commented in a previous video, I talked about the subconscious and the conscious using the analogy that popularized by a guy named Jonathan Haidt in the happiness hypothesis, but it predates, it has ancient roots. He uses an elephant and a rider as the analogy, the elephant being the subconscious mind. This is the part that learns without any conscious effort. It does things without any conscious effort. This is so it's, when you hear people talk about subconscious, however they talk about that, the primitive mind, the survival mind, system one. There's lots of different ways to think about this. They're talking about this part of us that we don't even know operates, exists. So I don't need to go into a full lesson of this, unless you're interested. I can. Uh, so let me know in the comments, and I'll go deeper in a different video. But um, that makes 95, call it, percent of your daily decisions. It decides, to digest your food. It decides to sweat. It can be trained. Like you can teach it how to drive a car, and you don't really think about when you first started driving a car. The elephant didn't know how to drive a car, so you're very aware of how am I going to drive this car. Now you're listening to a podcast, having a conversation, thinking about what you got to do later in the day because driving has been taught to the elephant. Sitting on top of that elephant is a rider. That's the conscious brain. That's the conscious part of your mind, and that matters because most of the time the rider can control the impulses of the elephant. In other words, the conscious mind can control the impulses of the subconscious mind. In normal times, mindfulness makes this easier because you become more aware of what the elephant is doing. In times of high stress, emotional flooding, if something scares the elephant, the rider does not have control anymore. So I only bring this up because a commenter, when I brought up this analogy, said, I need to check out Heretic because there's this line about this elephant. And I wonder if this is related. The elephant in the room is that my mind is in the elephant. My mind is all subconscious. If that analogy is at play, I'm wondering if that's or what is that? What else would that mean? Let me know because I've only listened to this once, twice now. The elephant in the room, which is the thing that nobody wants to talk about. Everybody knows is there, but nobody's talking about it. That's the elephant in the room. Is that my mind is in the elephant. If it's the elephant and rider analogy, he's saying, my interpretation is that he's on autopilot much of his life. But what do you think? What does that mean to say my room is in the elephant? You've heard this song more times than I have, I imagine. But that one's a head scratch. I'm going to ponder that one for a while. Oops.
Becoming evident that we make fear president. When fear trumps love, that's when the soul becomes irrelevant.
When fear trumps love, I like the tie-in. We make fear a president, and then when fear trumps love, President Trump, former President Trump, fear trumps love. It's a lot of wordplay there, but when fear trumps love, when we're driven by fear more than love, the soul becomes irrelevant. The soul becomes irrelevant. When fear trumps love, the soul becomes irrelevant. So the soul has nothing to do with love. My interpretation of these lyrics is that if I'm driven by fear instead of love, if I'm driven by fear, the soul is no longer relevant. I'm not sure I understand what that means, because if you believe in the concept of a soul, then the soul is there for love and the soul is there for fear. The soul, of course, wants to keep its vehicle alive. So if there's something to be afraid of, that's information for this soul to do something with. So I'm not sure. Again, so let me know what that line means. Because this is one where I'm like ping-ponging back and forth with several different ideas. So when fear trumps love, soul becomes irrelevant. Let me know what that means. So this creature, this is about when I noticed this creature's following him through the woods. It's like a devil character. There it is back there.
My troubles keep on mounting. I make molehills out of mountains.
Okay, that's my favorite line. That was the second time hearing it. I make molehills out of mountains. that is, well, so with a lot of his lyrics, there's one way that hits me, and then I think, well, maybe it could go that way. The normal way people talk about this is they say make mountains out of molehills. I have these small problems and I turn them into big problems. The resilience frame, the stoicism frame, is to say is to learn that a lot of things are out of your control and things don't have to bother you. And if things don't have to bother you, that's making a mountain and turning it into a molehill. I make molehills out of mountains. Things don't bother me that much. Now that's a good baseline to have. Now where the fine line is, and this is where this is, remember I said I second guessed my thought. So the resilience frame is the opposite of making mountains out of molehills. It's making molehills out of mountains. I don't have to bother that. I don't have to let that bother me. But the fine line is that, okay, here's the things I used to care about, and I can shrink that down to this. And so most of these things, if these are mountains, I don't care about those. Let's make molehills out of those. But there is a smaller subset of things that I absolutely care about. Right? And I have more energy to care about those things because I've given up all the things that I don't actually care about. I need to protect this. So if I'm making molehills out of mountains in this zone, now I'm ignoring things that need my attention. That's a maladaptive coping strategy when it comes to resilience. Sorry for the jargon. When life happens and it's time to be resilient, they call this a coping strategy. What are you doing to cope with that adversity? And there's adaptive coping strategies, which is how are you going to work on this problem in a way that is likely to get you back to baseline or even learn from it. A maladaptive coping strategy is doing something that doesn't work. So if I have things in my control and I'm not doing them, I could reach out to people or friends or professionals, but I'm not. That's maladaptive. If I'm trying to control the uncontrollable, that's maladaptive. Right? So if I'm ignoring the things that are in the zone that I care about, that could be maladaptive. I might be ignoring something that needs my attention. And just to put a ball on that, let me land the plane on that. Adaptive coping strategies are doing the things that are in your control and letting go of or surrendering to things that are outside of your control, or finding the seeds, the tiny things that you do have control over in that adversity. So if you think of it like a 2x2 grid, do you have control or not? Or are you doing it or not? Doing things that are in your control, adaptive. Not doing things that are out of your control is probably the hardest, but that's also adaptive. The maladaptive is trying to control the uncontrollable, and it is not doing things that are in your control. So more than you wanted to know about resilience and coping strategies, but it's related to mountains and molehills.
The bouts of doubt is sounding, drown my keep on mounting. I make molehills out of mountains. Roundabouts of doubt is sounding, drown my youth inside the fountain. I'm a fucking atom bomb, bitch, pouring salt into the wound. Watch me rip apart the stitch. I'm that kid, the one that life subtracted, isolated, fractured. Shakespeare reenacted, adapted for music is too sick. I'm shining like Kubrick. My method is clockwork or full.
All right, there's too many references in here. Stanley Kubrick made Clockwork Orange, and I think I saw, I don't know, somebody commented, or maybe I saw a little clip somewhere that one of his movies that he likes is Clockwork Orange. So that's interesting that that's in there. Shakespeare reenacted. I mean, come on, Tales of Jenny and Screech and Violet. That was Shakespeare-esque. So anyway, he's just throwing a lot of solid references.
I'm shining like Kubrick. My method is clockwork or full metal dude with my eyes.
Full Metal Jacket.
Eyes on the prize. Do you obey? Do you abide? What's the price of creativity? Is it losing your mind and seeing patterns in the places where the patterns are defined?
Price of creativity. Is it losing your mind and seeing patterns? The patterns are hard to find. So this might be a shout out to all those creatives who, stereotypically, go mad. Like I'm going crazy in the woods, but I'm writing really good novels. there's been a lot of movies and stuff about that, but and then seeing patterns that most people can't see, uh, that is good if you're trying to be a pattern recognition person and you want to connect all these things for your art. But is that, the trade-off there is, are you losing your mind to do it?
And seeing patterns in the places where the patterns hard to find.
This creature, though, it's right there.
All alone, all alone, all alone.
This is that part where it's like, I'm a heretic, and that means I'm alone. I don't have any answers. I don't have any belonging. I'm losing my sense of belonging, losing my sense of connection. Two of our core needs. This rhythm section, that drum beat, that bass. Oh, there it is again. And it's just so eerie. He's grabbing an apple. Is this a reference to Adam and Eve and the snake? Temptation. Loop back to Hi Ren. Is this that dark side of him? Now, if that dark piece said, Hi there, Ren, it's been a little while, that would have really tied it together. Anyway, solid stuff. How did you take this? Anything that I got right? Anything that I got wrong? What might I not be thinking about? And most importantly, what else should I check out? What should I check out next? I'll see you here next time.